everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sherry Turquoise, and today we are going to do a PowerPoint on constructing plot. Of course, once PowerPoint responds again. While this is loading up, editing tips and not next week, but maybe. I'm not too sure what's going on with PowerPoint right now. Okay. Construct Plot by Sherry Turquoise. The beginning of the novel should introduce your main characters and also introduce your villain and the world that your character is in and the main conflict. Sometimes a prologue can help, especially if you're starting off with the villain's point of view. It's better to start off with a prologue, unless your protagonist is the main character and we are looking at the villain's point of view instead of the hero's point of view. Then that's slightly different. Then you will start off like normal. But if you are going to go with a superhero's point of view or your hero's point of view, then and you need to start off with your villain's point of view, then a prologue will be prohibited on this one. And just to introduce the characters, so don't mind Shadow if you hear him in the background. He's just whining at me, claiming he's out of food. So basically, let's say you're writing a romance story and you need your two characters fall in love. Now let's say your characters, one's a good guy and one's a bad guy. There's a good way to introduce both characters in the very beginning of your story. And the world of your story will all depends if your romance is in a fantasy world or a paranormal world or just fiction world or something like that. What's the main conflict? Well, your antagonist is a good guy, and your protagonist villain is the bad guy. So there's that conflict right there, because they're supposed to fight each other instead of falling in love. I'm not sick. I just have a tingle in my throat. As for the middle of your story, it should keep the tension and you should not lose it. So whatever your tension is, let's say you're writing a suspense, which suspense has a lot of tension, so you should try to keep the tension there, with maybe a couple of breaks here and there to loosen it up and then rebuild it. Unless you're writing something like the Hunger Games, then that tension definitely did not go away. It just kept building up into the climax. There's that example. It can help to figure out the ending of your story. So let's say you're struggling in the middle. The ending of your story can help you in the middle, but also subplots can also help move your story forward too. So let's say you have the beginning and the end there, but your middle is still lagging. So that's where the subplots can come in and help you construct your story a little bit more. As for the end, it can be scary or daunting. For some people, it's nerve-wracking. They don't know how their story's going to end, but other authors do know how their story's going to end. What I can recommend was this one with the ending. I recommend asking yourself the question that was the conflict. How are you planning on ending the story? So ask yourself the question. Let's use this for example. Can Annabelle live her witch life without being discovered during the witch trial era? Your answer will determine her fate and the ending of the story. So if you want her to live through the witch trials, then she is not discovered as a witch until never, really. Or if you want her to go through the witch trials, like the actual trials itself, then you'll want her discovered. So it all depends on what your question is, and that will help you decide on your ending. Your ending is always hidden in your question. So again, if Annabelle were to be discovered, what will happen to her, and that will be what your ending will be. Your endings can have a cliffhanger. If it's a sequel, if there's going to be a sequel to it, then you can have a cliffhanger. Although some readers don't like cliffhangers, especially if they're really hooked to the story. But it's kind of common to have cliffhangers. But there are stories out there with the sequels or a series. The Hollow series is a good one to think about. Their main plot has done, but they have some subplots that go into the main plot into the sequel. But the way the book ended, it made it sound like there might not be another story, a sequel to it. So there's that possibility as well, or you can just end it like a the end story or a happily ever after, like a fairy tale kind of thing. So those are some ideas for you for constructing the plot. Now this video isn't very long because there isn't really much writing tips for this one. So thank you for watching. Follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. All the links will be down below. And click the like button, subscribe if you like these kind of content, and let me know. Let me know down in the comments what you think of these videos, and if you have any suggestions for future visual way of learning, help the visual learners, or if you prefer this way instead of a words and hands way, or if you prefer this way, let me know down in the comments down below what you think of these videos. And before I forget, before you even start writing your story, you should know what genre you are going to write in. So there's also that consideration as well. And remember, stay true to yourself and stay unique. And that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, stay true to yourself and stay unique, and have a good day. Bye. Oh, once this thing lets me exit. Okay.